Okay, so I have one more topic I want to touch on. I want to know what's the biggest misconception of using the N-word, and like, should we use it? Should we not use it?
The foundation of it.
Right.
When abolition first became like a thing, where there was a guy that came around who created this character, Zip Coon. And Zip Coon was basically a person that imitated African American or black men who were trying to, articulate themselves in a certain way. So if somebody was smart, educated, they would all, like kind of like make fun of them on camera, though. Put the big lips on, black face, and all that on. They were mimicking their intelligence. They used to call this gentleman the Ethiopian delineator, right? That was what they were unofficially called. Now remember that, the Ethiopian delineator. During that time, we had all of these big films come out, Birth of a Nation, all of these different things that were shaping the narrative on how you should deal with black people, right? The word Negus in Ethiopian language means royalty or king.
Absolutely.
Right? But remember this, the Ethiopian delineator made fun of blacks who were educated and enlightened. Right? Now we have an influx of this word nigga, which basically derives from Negus, which means royalty, which means king. Right? So when we think of that in those terms, people, it's just such an evil word, right? But we have the power as those who control our narrative to control stuff. So when in the 90s, in the conscious movement, that's what people used to, yeah, my nigga. That's where that came from. You know what I mean? People really like showing it like as a term of endearment. You know what I mean? Now it has a negative connotation to it as well, because of the many different spaces that it's been used in, but it also, a lot of people don't know that history right there. And I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions. I really do.
Negus. Well, with the Europeans, nigga was a negative term that derived from Negro. You had brothers and sisters that were detached from one another. They looked at each other as an op because it was brothers saying, man, I'm black, man, I'm a Negro. I ain't black, I'm a Negro. It's the same thing. Negro is negro, which is black in Spanish. It's just a different language. It's the same thing though. So my whole thing is, I feel as far as somebody that's outside of my ethnicity, saying nigger, that's an outshot. I feel like that's completely bogus just due to the fact of the history of it and how it's like calling a man a bitch. You know what I'm saying? It's totally disrespectful. So my whole thing is, or even calling a woman a bitch, that's disrespectful. Because a bitch is a female dog, it's not a human, you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, due to the fact that we have been conditioned to embrace certain things without studying and finding out the history behind it and this and that, man, we have to have the discernment to meet people where they are. So there's some brothers that they go around saying, man, I'm a real nigga. But being a real nigga, a lot of times, most of the real niggas that I knew from my hood, we either buried them or they're in prison. I don't want that to be the ultimate outcome of my people. I want people to look at ourselves as royalty, as the brothers that built the civilizations and built foundations. Even if you look at the pictures or you look at the ancient artifacts, all the stuff that they was talking about in ancient Egypt, you go to Egypt right now and it's still there. Pyramids are still standing. They still there. Now they may have been stripped of all the limestone because the Arabs came and stripped us of our limestone and built libraries and streets and all type of shit, from our buildings and things of that nature. But I just want people to embrace the God that lives within them. Like me, my brother, he went through the Akan rites of passage over in Ghana. In the Akan language, they have the indicative symbols, and you have a day name. I'm a Tuesday born. A Tuesday born is a Quabanah. A Quabanah translates to Lord of the Land. I would much rather be a Lord of the Land than be a chosen slave. And me knowing that I'm a Lord of the Land, just like this brother is a Lord of the Land, because you build this stuff from nothing. This is what the Lord can do. God can build. He can take absolutely nothing and turn it into something powerful. And my whole thing is, even the concept of God in ancient Africa, you couldn't be a god without a goddess. There was no way. You had to have balance. You had to have ma'at, as so above, as so below. So for every male deity, there had to be a female deity that stood right beside them. And you show me anywhere in the world where a woman can come up out of a man and make me know that. Because to me, that's absolutely impossible. But I know I came out of a woman and she on my arm. You know, so my whole thing is, if you look at the situation of women, no matter what ethnicity, whatever mental state that the woman is in, that's going to be the mental state of the whole environment, because y'all at the forefront. If the women doing bad, the kids going to be doing bad. If the women don't know how to articulate and talk a little slow, it's a good chance the kids going to be doing that. Especially if the father is absent or if the father is the breadwinner, you're going to be spending more time with your mama. So 9 times out of 10, we'll be a reflection of y'all. And I look at how they are promoting this gender-neutral society. I think that's the craziest shit ever. My thing is, if you're gay, that's your thing. I don't care what a man is doing with his penis. That don't have nothing to do with me. But there's no such thing as gender-neutral. If you got a penis, you're a man.
Especially
if you got a
kids,
vagina, you're a woman.
Children,
You know, and if you making a man think that he's not a man, he's not gonna carry on the traits of a man. No masculinity. So who the hell gonna protect our women if the man acting like a woman? So we gotta be at the forefront, and we gotta continue to tell our narrative, continue to write it, and not just speak things and say it's gonna come into existence, because you can speak things into existence, but you gotta do the work that comes behind the words, and we here to do the work.
Right. Well, my final statement, I suppose if this is the final question,
So,
I wish I could say that I had something profound to say as niggoose, or that I was born on a Monday, Muapa.
what day was you born on?
I don't know, the 6th
of what?
of October.
I can check you out.
See what I might, because I might be a
Well, we gotta know the year too. We gotta know
69.
69, 6th of
So,
October, 69.
but here's my position on this whole nigga. I just think, like, I don't have time to fight that battle.
Yeah.
What concerns me about that battle is that even if we win, we lost. Here's what I mean by that. I look at what the real war is like. Black people are consumed in fighting for our dignity and respect,
Yes, sir.
and all of these things that are very important. But when I look at that and balance it against the fact that other people are fighting for a market share in our community,
Yeah.
it frightens me, because while we're trying to find balance just with self and each other people are balancing the books on how they're taking the money out of our community.
In 1925, in Harlem, New York, in the summer night in August, Asa Philip Randolph called hundreds of porters from all around the country to this lodge in Harlem, New York, called the Elks Lodge. And what he said to them to get their attention, to kind of like get them all riled up, was what this is about is making you master of their economic fate. You know what I mean? That's what he was preaching prior to people really talking about civil rights. He was always talking about labor rights and economic rights, because he understood that the bread was what was going to be the determining factor at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
He understood that organizing all of these brothers around one block of financial concerns was going to be the thing that was essentially what would change their life. And it did, because in 1941, he was able to force a president, as a black man, to force a president to sign an executive order, Executive Order 8002, which banned all discriminatory practices in the armed forces and work-related fields. So they did that because he threatened to do a march on Washington, right? But once the president signed that executive order, he was able to shelve the march on Washington until '63. I say all that to say it was the money that threatened them. The fact that they had all those working brothers about to come down to D.C. It was the money. The financial has got to be the root. That's got to be the common ground that we all meet on.
Thank you. So
Everything
you
else,
gonna call me a nigga?
yeah, everything else.
Call me a nigga with some money.
Call me a nigga with some point blank.
I
You
say,
know what I'm saying?
speak on it. Speak on it.
Because
Niggas.
while we're fighting to be accepted, okay, yeah, you got to the table, your voice was heard, you made a provocative speech, right? But you got home and your lights cut off.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? We got to have more self-discipline than the fact that we want people to make us feel good. Are we good? Is the question.
Absolutely. We gotta look for that.
And you were born on a Monday. You're a Quattro just like me.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah, Quadro, you all are
Yes, Monday.
orators. I believe y'all are enlightened ones, and y'all have the ability to organize and bring things together and manifest things into reality as a Quadro.
I'll take that.
Yes, sir.
I'll take it.
And I just want to say with the whole religion thing, a lot of our ministers and this and that, they preach about don't worry about having riches on earth because you can't take it with you when you
Number one
die.
contradiction.
I think that's the dumbest thing ever said due to the fact that they tell you to worry about hell and heaven while they rule everything in between.
There it is.
And we die and we leave memories as opposed to legacies.
Look, the Catholic Church is the number one next to the Queen of England, the number one property owner. They got more wealth than any other entity in the world, the Catholic Church.
And if they was really doing God's work, how is people poor? How is
Right.
people starving? Y'all balling. And y'all supposed to be
Right, they got more wealth.
Come on, man. Yeah, so so man, my thing is I'm very honored and happy to be here today, man, just to be in this building in the presence of a true visionary,
Likewise.
a beautiful visionary, and my brother, you know what I'm saying, who I've just been seeing phenomenal things happen. So man, I'm just honored to be here, and the words in Kiswahili, I want to say "Sekuzi kuwadikuja." It simply means "our day will come." You know what I'm saying? And we will get back to it. Jambo hili yaitu, this thing of ours, and we will grow. Uhuru sasa, freedom now.
Okay.
I concur.
Yes,
I concur. I'm not going to try to come behind you. Yeah, I'll buy it today. All of that sounds good.
I want to thank you guys so much. I've just got crazy enlightened. So you guys, like, I want to get some information from you guys. So you wanna like throw out like your Instagram, throw out like a website, throw out some information.
You want some ism, go ahead and follow him at GLCTHEISM. That's GLC the ism. I just dropped a new record called Sankofa with Kwesi, paying homage to my brother, Baba Kwesi Ronald Harris. I got a new album coming out called The Book of Saint Ism. I got a vegan dessert company called Ism Cakes. They'll be in like several businesses all throughout the city. I have a design group, Ism Media. I have clients such as Chicago Public Schools, Chicago State University, Neighborhood Housing Services, Flavor Restaurant, several clients. And, I just create, man. I'm a creator, and I want to continue to create things to inspire my people, man. Love. Oh, I got a website, glctheism.com. GLC the ism. Love.
Yeah, and check us out. As I said in the beginning, I'm the visionary for BOP, Project 5000 BOP. B as in boy, O as in Oscar, P as in Paul. Project5000.org is our website. You know, we often talk about taking back the neighborhood, and we need to control the business narrative in our community. And I think that that's something that we can all agree on, but the real question is, how do we do that? And so what we have attempted to answer is the how. When I say we, I'm saying here at the BOP Business Center, where you can get office space for as low as $25 a month to properly launch your business. As we were talking earlier, I believe that big ideas need the space to grow. We're talking about $1 million ideas in Starbucks, McDonald's, and in the living room next to the baby bed. So bring those ideas in an environment where you can lock arms with other entrepreneurs and take those ideas to the next level. Take your vision board and put it in your living room and in your driveway. And let's stop just talking about it and let's be about it. If you're interested in real estate, I teach a real estate development class called Flip That Hood at the end of every month here at the BOP Business Center. So the last Saturday and Sunday from 10 to 2 is only $49. Where can you get that kind of game? And this is not something we're talking about, it's something we're actually doing. We're flipping houses. If you're somebody that would like to be a homeowner, come to the BOP Business Center. For only $1,000 down, we're creating homeowners, helping people to move from renting to actually owning the home that they live in. It's time for us to leave legacies and not bills. We got to leave wills,
Yes.
you know, and not just memories. And so with that, check us out at project5000.org. Roe Davis, thank you.
And feel free to visit our website, PullmanPorterMuseum.com. You can also visit our magazine website, PullmanMessenger.com. And check out our weekly radio show that comes from our BBS Radio. It airs in 125 countries outside the U.S., talking about all things cultural, economic development, and tourism, live from the Pullman National Mall. Be on the lookout for our new podcast, Ran by the Youth, coming Museum 44. Follow us on all platforms, Museum 44, APR, Pullman Porter Museum, Pullman Porter Museum on Instagram, APRPP Museum at Twitter. Like us on Facebook, check in, come by and visit us. And be on the lookout for new initiatives and partnerships that we have coming with Randolph's Dream Community Development Corporation, Pullman area, Eat to Live Restaurant Group, LLC, which will also be putting on a health and wellness food festival going on in Pullman, Chicago's first national monument. So that's going to be coming soon, so be on the lookout for that. Be on the lookout for the Shy City Record Pool, which is a music symposium that teaches you about how to become producers in the music business. You know what I mean? So we want to teach our kids as young as 14 how to be competitors in the music business and become owners of the music business. So you can visit ShyCityRecordPool.com for information on that. And just stay tuned to the movement. It's moving.
Power to the people.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for watching, and thank you guys for kicking it with Ray.